My dreams are nightmares. How can I sleep? You got the gun against me.
What's going on, everybody? King of Dragons 5000 here, coming at you with another figure review. Today we'll be having a look at the Mattel WWE Elite Collection Series 77 Rowdy Ronda Rousey. And so here we have Ronda Rousey posed and out of the packaging. Before we take a look at the figure, let's actually take a look at what she comes with. Ronda here does come with two pairs of hands. We do get a pair of fists. Then we get a pair of grip hands. Ronda comes with her entrance kilt, which does fit around her waist really nicely. Then we do get the WWE Raw Women's title, which is of course oversized and doesn't really fit the figure that well. Overall, I think it's a pretty good batch of accessories we get for Ronda here. So, with that out of the way, guys, let's actually take a closer look at Rowdy Ronda Rousey. And so here we have a closer look at Ronda Rousey, and I think Mattel has always done a fantastic job with the Ronda Rousey face sculpts, especially the serious face sculpt. It does look a lot like Ronda. Yeah, you can improve the paint a little bit more, but for a mass-produced figure, this actually has a lot of nice detail to it, and I really like the way they got her eye makeup to be. I just kind of wish that they did this with all the female figures, because a lot of them are lacking the makeup underneath the eyes, so yeah, they did a fantastic job here with Ronda Rousey, and this is a head sculpt we have seen before. This was on the Ultimate Editions Ronda, and then this is also on the basic Ronda figures that have her in her ring gear. It's not a bad sculpt by any means. It's actually one of the better sculpts that Mattel has ever given us, so I do appreciate that. And then you can see she does have her hair in a ponytail, as well as a couple of braids here. You can see a braid right here going down, and then another braid on this side going down. Again, it's the exact same sculpt we've seen with the Ultimate Editions line and some basic figures, but it's a really good head sculpt, and they keep improving on it, so I really do like that. Taking a look at her ring gear, this is of course from her SummerSlam match, and you can see it does say Rowdy right here in the front. Something that is worth noting, that her upper torso is the Ultimate Edition's upper torso. However, it has been modified a little bit, and the way it's been modified is that the arms now peg in normally. They don't have the option to be interchangeable, so if you were looking to swap these arms out, you can do it with modification. These arms are not meant to come out, and trust me, I have tried pulling and yanking on them with no success. So yeah, these arms are not meant to come out. Really do like the stripes right here on the back of her gear. That does look really nice. We do get her wrist tape. They're not really gloves. I really would have liked to see Ronda wearing MMA gloves, because that's pretty much what she should have been wearing. But yeah, they are nicely sculpted, and the paint apps are really done nicely, and you can see it goes all the way to her wrist, where I believe she should have wrist tape, but I don't know if it's wrist tape or if it's a solid piece. But yeah, I honestly think Ronda should have been wearing MMA gloves, but that's just me, honestly, and that's just my criticism of her overall wrestling gear. So we do have the same torso that we've seen with the Ultimate Editions, from the upper torso, the mid-torso, and pelvis piece. Even her legs we've seen on the Ultimate Editions figure. When I got my figure, I thought her body was on backwards, because it does look like this is the front, because it looks like abs, and it also looks like she has a belly button right there. But no, this is actually the way it goes, because we do have the belly button here. She has more abs on her back than she does her actual abs, which is kind of strange. I didn't really notice that at first, but on this figure it is very noticeable. I don't know why, but yeah. So again, same pelvis piece, same legs that we saw with the Ultimate Editions figure. However, she is wearing some new gear. It does say Rousey right here with the orange and yellow stripes. Kind of basic for her ring gear, but Ronda really wasn't too flashy with her ring gear, so it's perfectly okay. Then we do have her MMA shoes. Even though they don't wear shoes in MMA, it's kind of like kickboxing shoes. So I think the only thing that is different from this and the Ultimate Editions figure was the feet. The upper boot is the same, but the foot is completely different, because this one does lack a toe hinge, and I think that's the only thing separating this. So overall, we have a figure we've taken a look at for the most part, except she only has single jointed elbows and the toe hinges are omitted. But there is some issues with the articulation, which we will get into after we get her compared. So let's actually get her compared to other figures you may have in your collection. So here we have Ronda Rousey posed next to an Ultimate Edition's Brock Lesnar and a basic Jeff Hardy. And for our final comparison, here we do have Ronda Rousey posed next to the Elite Becky Lynch and the Ultimate Edition's Ronda Rousey. So with the comparisons out of the way, let's actually have a look at her articulation. Now, being that it is on a body we've seen before, you'd expect the articulation would be the same as the Ultimate Edition's figure. It isn't. Let's go over that really fast. So her head does sit higher on this body than it does on the Ultimate Edition figure, which does allow us to have more mobility in the head, so she does look up and down better. She does have some slight head tilt as well as rotation at the neck. Her arms are on ball joints that go out to the side, only to about right there. They do go all the way around. Again, they're not removable. You can't have the Ultimate Edition's jacket on this figure, which is a little bit of a shame. I would have liked to see that, but that's neither here nor there. We do have rotation here at the bicep. Single bend at the elbow, which is pretty decent. Ultimate Editions, we did get double jointed elbows, so that's one thing I really wish this figure had. We do have a swivel hinge at the wrist, which works pretty fine. Now, we should have a ball joint here in the torso. However, with the way they engineered the upper torso to fix the whole swappable arms, it did change the articulation in the abdomen. So she only goes back about that far, goes forward about that far. Really, really worse off than the Ultimate Edition's figure. You can see she does still tilt side to side, but the forward and back movement on this figure has been completely omitted because of how these arms connect into the torso. She does have rotation here at the waist. Legs do kick forward to about there, kick back, out to the side. She does swivel at the thigh, double bend at the knee, no problem there. We do have a swivel here at her boot, a hinge in the ankle going back and then going forward. And like I said, no toe hinge, but we do have some pivot in the ankle. I don't know why this one's frozen. It might actually need some heat to loosen up, but we do have some pivot in the foot. So with that out of the way, guys, let's actually get her posed for my final thoughts, and then we'll wrap up this review. And so here we have the Elite 77 Ronda Rousey pose for my final thoughts. And overall, this is a really nice figure. If you weren't able to pick up the Ultimate Edition for Ronda Rousey, you're still going to want to pick this figure up because this is the first Elite figure of Ronda Rousey in her wrestling gear. I know we have gotten an Elite Ronda in the past, and she was wearing her jacket, which it was a pretty okay figure. I actually passed on it. There was a lot of things wrong with it that I think they shouldn't have had going on, especially with a painted stomach. I never like when they paint the shirts on the figures. But anyway, this is still a really nice figure, and if you are into modification, you can modify this figure to have parts from the Ultimate Edition's figure, which includes the double jointed elbows, which is something I'm probably going to try to do for this figure. If you're not into modifications, this is still a really nice Ronda Rousey figure, and if you're into the Elite figures, this is the first and only ring gear Ronda Rousey that we've gotten as an Elite figure. We have gotten a few basics, but as far as Elite goes, this is the only one. So if you did miss out on the Ultimate Edition's Ronda Rousey, you're going to have to get this figure to fill that spot. Now, both figures are really relatively easy to get. Ronda Rousey should still be in Targets and Walmarts at the time I'm making this video. So if you haven't already picked her up and you're a fan of Ronda, I say definitely pick her up because you're going to want to have her in your collection. With that being said, guys, I'm KingofDragons 5000. Don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel. Go check out all my other action figure reviews as well as all my other WWE videos. Hopefully you find them informative. As always, if there's a figure you would like to see me review, let me know down in the comments. And if it fits in my collection, I'll definitely have a look at it. While you're at it, check out my Instagram account for new and exciting action figure photos. And as always, ring that bell to be notified every time I upload a video. Until next time, guys, I'll see you later. Take care, everyone.